Those who are there in the class, they requested to please put up their names and numbers for attendance purpose. Okay, so I think we shall start now. And first one is Kishan Gohil. Is he there? Kishan Gohil. Jeet Shah. Jeet Shah.
Yes, ma'am.
Please start.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning. It is the condition of India in international community, a comparative study of pre and post COVID time. The real GDP is estimated to have contracted by 8.5% in fiscal year 2021 overall, but it become positive again in the second half of the year. As growth resumes, poverty reduction is expected to return to its pre-pandemic trajectory. Response of the government to the COVID-19 outbreak has been swift and comprehensive. The national lockdown to contain the health emergency was complemented by a comprehensive policy package to mitigate the impact on the poorest household as well as on small and medium enterprises. To build back better, it will be essential for India to stay focused on reducing inequality, even as it implements growth-oriented reforms to get the economy back on the track. The World Bank is partnering with the government in this effort by helping strengthen policies, institutions, and investments to create a better future for the country and the people through green, resilient, and inclusive development. During the first phase of COVID, India had helped many countries by supplying needful medication as it is third largest pharma industry in the world. This helped so many countries to fight COVID during that time, and this is not the first time India had stepped ahead to help other countries. As we know that currently India is the largest producer of vaccine, India had first supplied to vaccines to the neighboring countries and those countries which were affected badly due to COVID-19. During the second wave in India, other countries stepped up to support India by supplying useful medications to fight the second wave. Even before COVID, many other countries has helped India by technology upgradation in defense equipment, infrastructure upgradation, and many more. Let us look at economic outlook. After growing at a very high rate for a
There is
year,
some
India's
problem
economy
with your
had.
net. Jeet, there is some issue with your internet. Either you are
Hello,
pressing
ma'am.
something.
I'm audible.
Just a second. Hmm. Just a second. There is nothing. There's no problem with your internet. Might be the problem was at my end. You can please continue, better. Jeet,
Okay, ma'am.
please continue, better. Mr. Jeet
Let us
Shah.
look at the. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm audible. Let us look at the economic outlook. After growing at very high rates for years, India's economy had already began to slow down before the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Before fiscal 17 and fiscal year 2020, growth decreased from 8.3% to 4%, with weakness in the financial sector compounded by a decline in the growth of private consumption. The implementation of national lockdown on 24 March 2020 brought economic activity to a halt, affecting both production and consumption. As a result, growth was negative in the first half of the fiscal year and only moderately positive in the second half. Over the entire fiscal 2021, India's economy is estimated to have contracted by 8.5%. In response to the COVID-19 shock, the government and Reserve Bank of India took several monetary and fiscal policy measures to support vulnerable firms and households, expand service delivery, and cushion the impact of the crisis on the economy. Thank you, ma'am, for the.
Thank you, Jeet. So the next one we are having is just a second. Is Kishan there now? Dhruvan? Dhruvan Gandhi. Is Dhruvan Gandhi there in the class? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am. And Dhruvan is not in the class.
Okay. Mahi,
Yes, ma'am.
you can start.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mahi Bharadwaj, and my topic is the effects of inflation on the life of citizens of a country. First of all, what is inflation? Inflation is the rate at which the prices of goods and services increases. Inflation often affects the buying capacity of consumers. In India, inflation is calculated by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Now, its effects on citizens. Effects on citizens. When there is inflation in the country, the purchasing power of the people decreases as the prices of commodities and services are high. The value of currency unit decreases, which impacts the cost of living in the country. When the rate of inflation is high, the cost of living also increases. Now, its effects on citizens. Ma'am, just a second. I'm so sorry. Sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, can I start? Ma'am, should I start from the beginning or I can continue?
You can continue. In
Am
whichever
I?
way you are comfortable, my dear.
Okay, so I will continue, ma'am.
Okay,
The
that's
last point I said, when the rate of inflation is high, the cost of living also increases. Now, during inflation, creditors lose means it affects negatively to creditors because they receive in effect less in goods and services than if they had received the repayments during a period of low prices. Debtors. Now, inflation affects positively to debtors as since they repay their debts in currency that has lost its value. For producers, it affects positively as they get higher prices for the products and they are able to earn more by selling their products. On the other hand, workers, it affects negatively to the workers because their wages have not increased, and for them, the expenses may have increased. Fixed income earners, the inflation affects them negatively as their income is fixed and the prices of goods and services have increased. Investors, inflation affects them positively as they are able to gain higher dividends. For the bondholders, they inflation affects them negatively as they get a fixed interest, the real value of which has already fallen. Traders, speculators, businessmen, and black marketers gain because They make more profits from the persistent rise in prices. Farmers also gain because the prices of their goods have increased, so they will be able to earn more. Retirees who receive their pension also suffer as it will be expensive to maintain their previous lifestyle. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that inflation affects every citizen and it has its own positive and negative impacts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahi. So the next one we are having is Sriram.
Yes, ma'am.
Please start
Very
with
good
it.
morning. My topic is good economic condition is reflected from the circular flow of income. The circular flow of income or circular flow is the model of economy in which the major exchange are represented as a flow of money, goods, and services between economic agents. The circular flow analysis is the basis of national accounts and hence of macroeconomics. The circular flow of income is the concept for better understanding of economy as a whole. A circular flow diagram illustrates the interdependence of the flow or activities that occur in the economy, such as the production of goods and services and the income generated from the production. The circular flow also illustrates the equality between the income earned from the production and the value of goods and service produced. In five sector economy, there are the leakage and injections. Leakage means the withdrawal from the flow. When household or firms save part of their income, it consists leakage. They may be form of saving, tax payment, and import. Leakage reduces the flow of income. Injection means the introduction of the income into flow. When household and firm borrow savings, they constitute injection. Injection increase the flow of income. And injection can take form of investment, government spending, and export. The circular flow reveals that there are the several different ways of the measure of level of economic activity. From the household perspective, we can look either the amount of income earned, one minute. We can look at either the amount of income earned by the household or their level of spending. From the firm's perspective, we can look either the level of revenue earned from the sales or amount of their payment to worker and shareholders. In all cases, the level of nominal economic activity would be measured at 300 billion pesos. Money being the lifeblood of the modern economy, its circular flow give a clear picture of the economy. We can know from its study whether the economy is working smoothly or there may be any disturbance in its flow functioning. As such, the circular flow of money is the immense significance for studying the functioning of the economy and for helping the government in formulating policy measures. Thus, we concluded that the good economic condition can be reflected by the circular flow of income, as this flow is significant for both the manufacturer, producers, sellers, and for purchasers, buyers, and customers. Its smooth conduct defines the economic condition of any geographical region. Thus, the circular flow plays a vital role in ascertainment of any place's presence money position. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sriram. The next one is Rahil.
Yes, ma'am.
Please start with that.
Ma'am, I'm audible?
Yes, you're absolutely audible.
Okay, ma'am. So, good morning, one and all. Today, I will be speaking related to the relationship of microeconomics with various disciplines of life. Microeconomics is a study of a large economic issues, such those which affect the entire economy. This is in contrast with microeconomics, which looks at a smaller scale economic principles, where macroeconomics is highly practical disciplines as it deals with the principle that directly impact in every part of our life. The economic has a knock-on effect on almost every part of the people's lives. As a nation's economy, well-being affect its employment, healthcare, consumer confidence, and for and so forth. Macroeconomic is a branch of an economy dealing with the performance, structure, behavior, and decision making for an economy as a whole. For example, using interest rates, tax of governments, spending to regulate an economic growth and stability. This includes regional, national, and global economy. Microeconomy is a broad discipline which em- emphasizes many separate areas of studies. This principle of macroeconomic can broadly be grouped into two areas of concern. Firstly, the effects of business cycle of the wider economy, and secondly, what causes an economy to grow over a long period of time. The principle of macroeconomy aims to analyze to many different factors that relate to the performance and structure of large macroeconomies such as economy of a nation or the economy of an entire world. Now I will say something key principle of macroeconomy. First is national income. The area of macroeconomy analyze the wealth of a nation generates. These are the different measures for these, such as gross national products, domestic products, and the net national income. This underlying purpose of all of these is a part of a picture of a financial health of a nation. This basic approach to be undertaking is looking at the value of goods and services produced by a nation over a course of a year. Inflation. Inflation is a study of how cost of goods and services rises as time goes on. For example, if a car costs $100 more in a given year than did the 10 years previously, that would be in case of inflation. Inflation is a complex area of economy, but consequences among leading modern economies is that it's desirable for inflation to be kept at a low or steady rate or near to zero as possible. This this helps to navigate the negative of consequences of economic regressions. Economic output. This is a study of goods and services which a national economy produce. High output is desirable as the more money that is spent on nation's goods and services. The more benefit it holds for a country due to the fact of more people will be in employment and greater tax revenue will be raised. International trade. This is an area of microeconomic looks at the trade that occurs between the nations in the terms of goods and services and raw materials. International trade often forms a large part of a nation's income as a world is obviously a far larger marketplace than a single nation. International trade is an vital to the world economy as often certain raw material for goods and services are only the best produced in a certain country or region. For example, colder nations do not have the climate needed to produce bananas. So far, that country have bananas availability international trade is required. Now I will talk impact and importance of microeconomic principles. When initially mentioned, the principle of macroeconomics may sound uninteresting and abstract. Often people believe the economy is a dry subject which isn't relevant to everyday life. This is far from the truth. The principle of macroeconomics directly impact almost every area of life. The affect employment, government welfare, and availability of goods and services, the way nations interact with one another, the price of foods in the shops, almost everything. We live in the capitalist world, so understanding the principle of macroeconomic is an essential part of understanding to the world at large. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, the next one is Nika. Nikki. Nikki. Okay? Nikia. Nikia Nagrawala. Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
please start.
Good morning, all. Today I want to talk about the condition of India in the international community, a comparative studies of pre and post COVID time. The Ministry of External Affairs India, also known as the Foreign Ministry, is the government agency responsible for the conduct of foreign relations of India. With the world third largest military expenditure, fourth largest armed force, fifth largest economy by GDP nominal rate, and third largest economy in terms of purchasing power parity. India is prominently religious power, a nuclear power, an emerged global power, and a potential superpower. India assumed growing international influence and a prominent voice in global affairs. India has also played an important and influential role in the other international organizations like East Asia Summit, World Trade Organization, Indian Monetary Fund, and IBSE Dialogue Forum. India is also a member of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank and Shanghai Cooperation Organization. India growing economy, strategic location, mix of friendly and diplomatic foreign policies, and large and vibrant diaspora has won it more allies than enemies. India has friendly relations with several countries in the developing world. The India is not a part of any major military alliance. It has close strategic and military relations with most of the fellow major powers. Countries considering India closest include the Russian Federation, Israel, Afghanistan, France, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and the United States. Russia is the largest supplier of military equipment to India, followed by the Israel and France. According to some analysis, Israel is said to overtake Russia as India's largest military and strategic partner. In addition, India operates an air base in Tajikistan, signed a landmark defense accord with Qatar in 2008, and has leased out Assumption Island and to be built a naval base in 2015. India has also forged relations with developing countries, especially South Africa, Brazil, and Mexico. India's future agreement. Currently, India is taking steps toward establish strategic partner with Canada and Argentina. Although India has not signed any foreign strategic partner agreement with Bhutan and Qatar, its foreign ministry often describes relations with the countries as strategic. Here are some sector implications of COVID-19 pandemic in India. First, impact on tourism, aviation, and retail. Tourism in India accounted for 9.2% of GDP and generated US $247.3 billion in 2018, with a certain of 26.7 million jobs. Currently, it is the eighth largest country in terms of contribution to GDP. According to the report, by 2029, the sector is expected to provide employment to near 53 million people. Second, impact on GDP growth rate. GDP growth rate of India for the present economy is projected to decline to 4.8%. The nominal GDP is estimated at 2,04,400 billion in 2019-20, with a growth of 7.5% over the provisional estimate of GDP 1,90,100 billion for 2018-19. On 18 February 2020, the National Statistics Office announced revised estimate of GDP for 8% to 7.1% in the first quarter, from 7% to 6.2% in the second quarter, and in third quarter 6.6% to 5.6%. Third, impact of COVID-19 pandemic on migration labor. Falling deeper into poverty due to consequences of the virus. As half of the world is in lockdown, it is going to be lost 195 million full-time jobs or 6.7% of working are globally. During lockdown, 92% of labor have lost 1 to 4 weeks of work. A survey done by the Jansan of 3196 migrant workers across northern and central India between 27 March and 29 March revealed that 80% of migration workers fear that they will run out of food before lockdown end on 14 April and will not get job back thereafter. Fourth, physical and monetary policy. The fiscal measure include paying the healthcare bill raised by the pandemic. Public spending on healthcare in India is 1.1% of GDP. It is likely to increase in the current fiscal year. The government has declared a relief package of rupees 1700 billion. It is will used to make the cash transfer to the poor, and the sector that are affected the most is the MSMEs and the farmers will be supported by another relief package which will be announced soon. Monetary policy is less effective in dealing with pandemic because the problem is not liquidity alone. This disruption of economic activity and the uncertainty of the future during lockdown, these the investment sentiments and anxiety include among firms and investor wipes out the investment demand. Fifth, impact on startups and micro, small, and medium enterprises. Micro, small, and medium
Smith,
enterprises,
I'll
which
have to stop
create
you.
more than
Smith,
90% of
Smith,
job in India.
Smith, but
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
have to stop you because it's going too long.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is Vatsal, Lunagriya. Vatsal. Is Vatsal there in the class? Uh, now I'll call upon those people who were not there yesterday. If they are there, they can come up. Keyur Goswami. Is Keyur there still? Surbhi. Aditya Raj Singh. Om Mehta. Gorang. Is Kishan there? Kishan Gohil. Has he turned up for the class? Vatsal Lunagriya is not there? Manit,
Yes, ma'am.
please start it.
Hello, my name is Manet Subha, and today I'm going to present on I have merged two topics, topic one and topic three. So introduction, inflation is the decline of purchasing power of a given currency over time. A quantitative estimate of the rate at which the decline in purchasing power occurs can be rejected in the rate increase of an average price level of a basket of selected goods and services in an economy over some period of time. The rise in the general level of prices, often expressed as a percentage, means that a unit of currency effectively buys less than it did in prior periods. Inflation during COVID-19, lockdowns, work from home caused people to spend larger shares of their household budgets on food and housing, while fewer people bought non-essentials, airline tickets and clothing. As the income level decreased, millions of people lost their jobs. The Consumer Price Index (CPI) does not reflect these abrupt changes in spending patterns because the CPI weights are continuously updated. For example, the CPI would be pulled down by a decline in the prices of non-essentials that are no longer purchased. A new IMF staff, that is International Monetary Fund, used spending estimates derived from credit and debit card data to adjust the CPI weights to match spending patterns during the pandemic. The study finds that inflation during the first 3 months of the pandemic was actually higher than we thought. Inflation, contraction, and food distribution. The spike in consumer food price and retail in the past 1 year has considered with a record contraction of the Indian economy, and many economists have criticized the government for not spending enough to placate poor and low-income households. The government's decision to cut spending was approx 22% in the third quarter as it was concerned about high fiscal deficit. Even the food inflation has remained high on the months after post-lockdown. Rising poverty and hunger. In October, food inflation surged to 11% percentage, but it decreased marginally in November to 9.43%. Even before the pandemic, India's consumer price inflation hovered above the Reserve Bank of India's mandated 6% upper limit as the country's economic growth slowed down to record lows. The lockdown disrupted the agricultural supply chain. This resulted in the spike in food inflation that India has witnessed during the last few months or last year, experts said. So before COVID, uh, uh, even before the pandemic struck, consumer inflation had crossed the upper level of 6% in December 2019. India was in a tight situation with inflation higher than the mandate. But even into the pandemic, when inflation numbers in most countries eased, Indians did not see it going below 6%, apart from 2 months, April and May. According to Asian Development Bank's analysis, the average inflation in developing economies in Asia would be around 2.9%, quite lower than the range in which India's inflation has hovered in 2020. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, that was nice. So the next one we are having is Sanskriti.
Yes, ma'am.
Please start
Ma'am,
with it.
I'm audible?
Yes, Peter, you are audible.
Myself, Sanskruti Vaja, and today I would like to present my views on impact of inflation on the life of citizen of a country. Inflation. Basically, inflation means you have to pay more for the same goods and services. This can help you in form of income inflation or asset inflation, such as in housing or stock. If you own the asset before and price rise, but if your income doesn't keep pace with inflation, your buying power declines. Over time, inflation increases your cost of living. If the inflation rate is high enough, it hurts the economy. When price for energy, food, commodities, and other goods and services rise, the entire economy is affected. Rising price, known as inflation, and rising in inflation impact the cost of living, cost of doing businesses, borrowing money, etc. Inflation can be both beneficial to economic recovery and in some case negative. If inflation becomes too high, the economy can suffer. Conversely, if inflation is controlled and at reasonable levels, the economy may prosper. With control, lower inflation, employment increases. Consumers have more money to buy goods and services, and the economy benefits and grows. However, the impact of inflation on economic recovery cannot be assessed with complete accuracy. Inflation might be something that not many people understand, yet we all have experienced it and feels its effects. When you head to store expecting to spend budgeted amount of money on something, only to spend a lot more, you have experienced inflation. Of course, when a price rises on a product, it's not always due to inflation. Yet, inflation still affects your cost of living by increasing the cost of goods and services. This is why it's so important to consider inflation when planning for the future. Even if the future is as soon as next year, especially when planning for retirement, you need to ask yourself what you want as your standard of living because inflation directly affects your lifestyle. There is a question that does inflation personally affects you? Yes. Inflation affects everyone. Yet it affects everyone very differently. Your lifestyle is based on your income and your expenses. Sometimes people who have a high standard of living but not a high enough income end up borrowing money to make up difference. When inflation rises, borrowing money becomes very expensive. This means either people take out fewer loans or they are unable to spend less money because it's going towards payments. For those people whose standard of living matches their income, inflation can be both a positive and a negative. Usually, when inflation rises, your income also rises, as there are adjustments based on cost of living. This is the case for anyone with a current income and also for those on social security. However, even with an increased income, expenses also rise for those on a fixed income, like retirees. Inflation can greatly affect their standard of living. Thus, inflation personally affects everyone, but it can be in a positive manner or a negative manner. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sanskriti. Next one is Harshit. Is
Yes,
Harshit
ma'am.
there? Yes, please start.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning to all of you. Myself, Harshit Karakoti. Today, my topic is the impact of inflation on the life of citizen of a country. Inflation is the rate at which the value of a currency is falling and consequently the general level of prices for goods and services is rising. Inflation is simply rise in price of commodities and devalues of money. It directly influences the standard of living. This paper dealt with the effect of inflation on standard of living in terms of expenses on food and non-food items, income, saving, loan and recreation. Most commonly used inflation index are the consumer price index and the wholesale price index. Inflation can be viewed positively or negatively depending on the individual viewpoint and rate of change. Example: a sample of 200 male heads of families was taken from 2 towns out of 6 towns. Using multi-stage sampling, interview scheduled was used as a tool for data collection. It was inferred from analysis of data that inflation did highly affect the middle class. People are compelled to get loan and to do overwork to fulfill their family expenditure due to the inflation. Effects on the life of the citizen. Over the long term, inflation erodes the purchasing power of your income and wealth. This means that even as you save and invest, your accumulated wealth buys less and less, just with the passage of time. And those who put off saving and investing impacted even more. Inflation in the rise price of product over time. Inflation rates have fluctuated over the years. Sometimes inflation runs high and other times it is hardly noticeable. The short-term changes aren't the real issues. The real issues affect the long-term inflation. Over the long-term inflation erodes the purchasing power of your income and wealth. This means that even as you save your invest and accumulated wealth buys less and less just with the mere passage of time, and those put off saving invested impact even more. Thank you, ma'am.
Check. The next one is Zeal. Zeal Pandit. Is he there? Is I'm spelling the word right. I mean properly, right? It's Zeal or Zeal. Whatever the name of the person is not there. Keshvi. Keshvi Sureja. Keshvi Sureja. This is the batch in which maximum people are absent. Sahil,
Yes, ma'am.
please start.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sahil Hirapra, and today I will discuss the major impact of inflation on the life of citizen. Firstly, inflation is refers to a rise in general price level caused by an imbalance between the quantity of money and trade needed. Inflation affects to everyone. Our lifestyle is based on our income and our expenses. Sometimes people who have a high standard of living but not a high enough income end up borrowing money to make up the difference. Now I will discuss the effect of inflation. So first, effect on farmers. Farmers also gain because the rise in the price of agriculture product is usually higher than the income in the price of other goods. Inflation brings a shift in the pattern of distribution of income and wealth in the country, usually making the rich richer and the poor poorer. During the inflation, there is more and more inequality in the distribution of income. Second, effect on income and employment. Inflation increased the national income of the community as a whole on account of large spending and greater production. But the real income of the people falls to increase proportionately due to fall in the purchasing power of money. Third, effect on production. The rising price stimulate the production of goods, both the consumption and the of capital goods. As producers get more and more profit, they try to produce more and more by utilizing the available resources. The producer and the farmers would increase their stock in the expectation of the future rise in price. As a result, hoarding and cornering of commodities will increase. Fourth, effect on business and trade. The volume of international trade tends to increase during inflation due to high income, greater production, and large spending, but the export trend is likely to suffer on account of rise in the price of domestic goods. Now I will discuss some key takeaways of inflation. First, rises price, lowering your purchasing power. Second, it also lowers the value of pensions, savings, and treasury notes. Third, variable interest rate on loan increase during inflation. Thank you.
No? Next one is Dhruvan.
Yes, ma'am.
Please start.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Dhruvin Mungra, and today I am going to present a case study on use of macroeconomics theory in real life situation. Firstly, as a summary of macroeconomics is the study of the economy as a whole. This is different from microeconomics, which concentrate more on individual and how make economic decision, while macroeconomics look at single factors that affect individual decisions. Macroeconomics studies general economic effect. Macroeconomics try to forecast economic condition to help consumer, firms and government to make better decisions. So as we move from introductory part, let's see how macroeconomics used in real life theories. Macroeconomics is essential in the field of study of economist, government and financial research analyze the general national issues and economic well-being of nation. It mainly covers the measure of fundamental, which are macroeconomics theory and macroeconomic policies. Here, the macroeconomics theory involves economic growth and dependent and general price level. The study of problem like unemployment in India or the general price level and the problem of balance of payment, that is BOP, is the part of macroeconomic study because it relates to economy as a whole. Scope of macroeconomics is divided in two parts, that is one macroeconomics theory and macroeconomics policy. While macroeconomics theory include economic growth and development, theory of national income, theory of money, theory of international trade, theory of employment and theory of general price level. While macroeconomic policy include fiscal policy and monetary policy. So my final thought on the case study is macroeconomics is the basic of various economic reforms and national decision model in a country. However, the policies framed under this concept is usually a ideal impact that is make on the society as a whole, individual citizens. Therefore, it requires a highly analytical, logical, and extraordinary approach while reaching to such interference. Macroeconomics is the foundation of many economic policies. It lays on the basis of regional decision making mechanism in nation. It requires observational, logical, and incredible approach. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dhruvan. The next one is Chirag. Chirag.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Chirang Sabaya. My topic is the impact of inflation on the life of citizen of a country. In economic, inflation is the general rise in the price level of an economic over a period of time. When the general price level rises, each unit of currency buys favor goods and services. Consequently, inflation reflects a reduction in the purchasing power per unit of money, a loss of real value in the medium of exchange and unit of account within the economy. The opposite of inflation is deflation, a sustained decrease in the general price level of goods and services.
The common measure of inflation is the inflation rate analyzes percentage change in the general price index, usually the consumer price index over time. Inflation affects economic in various positive and negative ways. The negative effect of inflation includes an increase in the opportunity cost of holding money, uncertainty over future inflation, which may discourage investment and saving, and if inflation were rapid enough to shortage of goods and consumers begin hoarding out of concern that price will increase in the future. Positive effect includes reducing unemployment due to nominal wages, allowing the central bank greater freedom in the carrying out of monetary policy, encouraging loan and investment instead of money hoarding and avoiding the inefficiency associated with deflation. There are three types of inflation: are demand pull inflation, cost pull push inflation, built-in inflation. In demand pull inflation occurs when an increase in the supply of money and credit stimulates overall demand for goods and services in an economy to increase more rapidly than the economic's production capacity. This increased demand and leads to price rises. Cost push inflation. Cost push inflation is a result of the increase in price working through the production process inputs when additions to the supply of money and credit are channeled into commodity or other asset market. Typically, when this is accompanied by a negative economic shock to the supply of key commodity cost for all kind of intermediate goods rises. Built-in inflation. Built-in inflation is related to adaptive expectation, the idea that people expect current inflation rate to continue in the future as per rise of goods and services rises. Workers and others come to expect that they will continue to rise in the future at the similar rate and demand more cost for wages. To maintain their standard of living, their increased wages result in higher cost of goods and services. And this way price will continue as a one factor reducing the price. Thank you, ma'am.
Next one is, thank you, Chirag. Next is Adit Hirani. Adit Hirani. Is Adit there in the class? Okay. Rajveer.
Yes,
Rajveer.
ma'am. Yeah, present, ma'am.
Yes, please start.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to speak on the topic the relationship of microeconomics with various disciplines of life. In, Sorry, ma'am. I was going to speak the impact of inflation on the life of citizen of country. Sorry for that. Inflation might be something that not many people understand, yet we all experience it and feel its effect. When you head to the store expecting to spend a budgeted amount of money on something only to spend a lot more, you experience inflation, of course. When a price rises on a product, it's not always due to inflation. Yet, inflation still affects your cost of living by increasing the cost of goods and services. This is why it's so important to consider inflation when planning for the future, even if the future is as soon as next year, especially when planning for retirement. You need to ask yourself what you want as your standard of living because inflation directly affects your lifestyle. Exactly how does inflation affect your lifestyle? It impacts your life in more ways than one. How inflation personally affects you? Yes, inflation affects everyone, yet it affects everyone very differently. Your lifestyle is based on your income and your expenses. Sometimes people who have a high standard of living but not a high enough income end up borrowing money to make up the difference. For those people whose standard of living matches their income, inflation can be both positive and a negative. Usually, when inflation rises, your income also rises, as there are adjustments based on cost of living. This, this is the case for anyone with a current income and also for those on social security. However, even with an increased income, expenses also rise. For those on a fixed income like retirees, inflation can greatly affect their standard of living. why you need to be planning for inflation. When inflation rises, it has a substantial impact on your buying power and takes a chunk out of your saving and investment. This means anyone on a fixed income is going to have a budget differently. But it also means saving more for retirement than you think is necessary to account for the decline in the value of the dollar. Your saving target must continue to move if you want to be able to afford the same quality of life during retirement. For example, if you think you can live off $3,500 a month today while retired, you might want to plan for spending $4,500 a month instead for future retires to account for inflation. This means constantly adjusting your retirement saving plan prior to hitting retirement. Then, during retirement, you need to be evaluating and adjusting your income to offset the rising cost of living. For sure, planning for inflation during retirement is a balancing act. At Vector Wealth, our goal is to help you balance your desired standard of living during retirement with such economic factors in inflation. That's all, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajvi. Is there anyone from today's batch who is left out? Because I'll not be calling out the name of people who were absent now. And yes, no, I'll be calling them out. Adit Hirani, Keshvi, Zeel, Vatsal, Nakia, Dhruvin, Kishan. These are the students. If they are present tomorrow, they'll be getting a chance. If they are not present tomorrow for the presentation, then they'll be marked as absent. Similarly, the way that yesterday those who were absent, I called them out today. But as they were not present in the class, now they'll not be getting a second chance. Those who are there, they've performed very well, very good students. I've tried to inculcate as many points as possible. And I'm sorry I had to stop Sahil in between. Am I right? I stopped Sahil. No? I stopped something else. Okay, I'm sorry I had to stop you. But we are running short of time. So now you should leave and join the next class as early as possible because I'm sorry your break is being cut off. Thank you for attending the class, everyone. फटाफट से join the next class.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you please upload Unit 5 material in Google Classroom?
I've already uploaded all the material.
No, ma'am. Unit 5 material is not there in Google
I'll
Classroom.
just see to it. I'll just see to it and I'll upload it today if it's not there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sharon.